A Gynecologist's Guide to Longevity. 5 essential medical screenings for women over 60. Have you ever found yourself canceling or postponing a doctor's appointment simply because you felt perfectly fine, thinking to yourself, I don't really need to go through with that test? If you are a woman over the age of 60, I want to ask you to pause for a moment and listen with your full attention. Because the unvarnished truth is that some of the most dangerous and life-altering health problems give you absolutely no warning signs at all. And by the time any discernible symptoms finally appear, it can often be too late for the most effective interventions. I am Dr. Lily Stones, a gynecologist with over 3 decades of experience dedicated to caring for women through every single stage of their lives. And today, my mission is to walk you through the 5 medical tests that every woman over the age of 60 should absolutely get. These are not just routine box-ticking checkups. They are life-saving tools that can detect problems at their earliest stages when they are most easily treatable and provide you with the profound peace of mind that comes from knowing your body is truly and thoroughly protected. Allow me to share a story with you. One of my patients, Margaret, aged 68, came to see me for what she believed was just a routine bone health check. She had never once given a second thought to her cardiovascular health because, in her own words, she felt fine. But during the course of her screening, we discovered the unmistakable early signs of heart disease. She was, to put it mildly, shocked. "Doctor," she said, "I walk every single day. I don't feel sick at all." But that is precisely the point. Heart disease often whispers long before it ever shouts. Because Margaret's test caught the issue in its infancy, she was able to promptly start a course of treatment and is now thriving, playing actively with her grandkids and enjoying her daily walks with a newfound sense of confidence. Without that crucial screening, her story could have had a very different and tragic ending. According to the esteemed Cleveland Clinic, women over the age of 60 face significantly increased risks of developing heart disease, osteoporosis, various cancers, and diabetes. And yet, a staggering number of women never receive the very tests that could potentially save their lives. Why does this happen? Sometimes the reason is fear. Sometimes it is a simple lack of awareness. And very often it is because we have been conditioned to put everyone else's needs before our own. But your health deserves to be your utmost priority. You simply cannot effectively care for your family, your partner, or your friends if you are not first taking diligent care of yourself. Think of these essential tests as being like the lighthouse on a treacherous coastline. You do not rely on the lighthouse because you expect your ship to run aground. You rely on it so that if a hidden danger does emerge from the fog, you will be alerted in time to safely navigate around it. These medical tests are your body's personal lighthouses, alerting you to concealed risks before they can escalate into full-blown emergencies. In this episode, we will cover the 5 tests I personally consider to be essential for every woman after the age of 60. We will talk about comprehensive heart health screenings, bone density tests, crucial cancer screenings, blood work for diabetes and cholesterol, and the often overlooked but vitally important pelvic exam. I will explain exactly why each of these tests matters, what it has the potential to reveal, and how often you should be getting it. And I will continue to share real patient stories that vividly illustrate the profound difference between catching something early and missing it entirely until it is too late. By the end of our time together, you will have a clear and actionable roadmap for the screenings that protect not just your physical health, but also your independence, your energy, and your precious time with the people you love. So let me ask you, when was the last time you had a full and thorough checkup? Have you ever delayed a recommended test simply because you felt fine? Please share your experiences in the comments section below, because the chances are high that another woman is doing the exact same thing right now, and your story could be the very thing that reminds her to make that all-important appointment. Stay with me, because the tests we are about to discuss could very well be the difference between years of continued health and a preventable crisis. The very first tests that every woman over 60 must prioritize is a comprehensive heart health screening. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women in the United States, yet many of us still perceive it as primarily a man's problem. Following menopause, the naturally protective effect of estrogen dramatically decreases, and the risks associated with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and the narrowing of arteries increase significantly. What makes this so particularly dangerous is that many women do not experience any obvious symptoms until the disease has reached an advanced stage. A heart health screening typically includes a blood pressure measurement, a full panel of cholesterol and triglyceride levels, and sometimes an electrocardiogram, ECG, or a stress test, depending on your individual risk factors. According to the Mayo Clinic, women over the age of 60 should have their blood pressure checked at least once a year, and their cholesterol checked every 4 to 6 years, or even more frequently if the results are abnormal. I had a patient named Eleanor, aged 70, who told me with great pride, "Doctor, I have never once felt a pain in my chest, so my heart must be perfectly fine." But her routine screening revealed dangerously high cholesterol levels and the early formation of arterial plaque. By catching it in time, she was able to make significant dietary changes, start a course of medication, and successfully avoid what could have been a devastating and life-altering heart attack. Her story is a poignant reminder to all of us that feeling fine is not the same as being fine. These tests serve as your indispensable early warning system. The second essential test is a bone density scan, which is also referred to as a DEXA scan. After the age of 60, women face a much higher risk of developing osteoporosis, a condition in which the bones become weak, porous, and brittle. In fact, the National Institutes of Health, NIH, reports that 1 in every 2 women over the age of 50 will, at some point in their lifetime, break a bone due to osteoporosis. These fractures can be life-changing, and sometimes even life-threatening because they have a profound impact on a woman's independence, her mobility, and her overall health. A bone density scan is a completely painless and quick procedure. You simply lie on a table while a specialized machine measures the strength and density of your bones, particularly in the spine and hips. The results of this scan help your doctors to determine your personal risk of fractures and to guide effective prevention strategies, such as calcium and vitamin D supplementation, weight-bearing exercise, and in some cases, specific medications. Let me tell you about Martha, aged 66, who came to see me after she had fractured her wrist from a simple, low-impact fall in her garden. She told me, "I just thought it was a bit of clumsiness, but I never for a moment imagined that my bones were so incredibly weak." A subsequent DEXA scan revealed that she had advanced osteoporosis. With proper treatment, she was able to strengthen her bones and significantly reduce her risk of future fractures. But she confessed to me that she wished with all her heart that she had been tested sooner. Her story highlights a crucial truth that I want every woman to hear. You cannot feel osteoporosis developing. The only way to truly know the state of your bone health is to get tested. I often compare these first 2 tests to the essential maintenance of your home. Checking your heart is like inspecting the electrical system. It is what keeps everything running. Checking your bones is like examining the foundation. Without strength and solid support, the entire structure is at risk. Both are absolutely essential if you want to continue moving safely and confidently through life's journey. So let me ask you, when was the last time you had your heart and your bones professionally checked? If it has been years, or if you have never had these vital screenings, please consider this your gentle and caring nudge to make that appointment. Stay with me, because in the next section, we will talk about 2 other crucial screenings that women often ignore, but which can literally save lives: cancer screenings and essential blood tests for diabetes and cholesterol. The third essential screening is for cancer. After menopause, the risks of developing several types of cancer increase, with breast, colon, and gynecologic cancers being among the most common. Many women hold the belief that if they feel fine, they do not need to be checked. But cancer often grows silently within the body, showing absolutely no symptoms until it has reached an advanced stage. Screenings are the very tools that allow us to detect it early, when treatment is at its most effective. For breast cancer, the Mayo Clinic recommends that women over 60 have mammograms every 1 to 2 years, depending on their individual risk factors and personal medical history. For colorectal cancer, colonoscopies are considered the gold standard and should typically be done every 10 years, although there are other stool-based tests that can be performed more frequently. And for gynecologic cancers, pelvic exams remain absolutely vital. While pap smears may no longer be needed as often after the age of 65, depending on your prior history, a thorough pelvic exam can still detect the earliest signs of ovarian, uterine, or vaginal cancers. I will never forget my patient Claire, aged 72, who almost skipped her scheduled mammogram because she felt perfectly fine and had no family history of the disease. That single test revealed an early-stage tumor, one so small that it would have gone completely unnoticed until much, much later. Claire underwent successful treatment and is now, thankfully, cancer-free. She told me with tears in her eyes that one appointment saved my life. That is the power of cancer screening. It is a safety net that is designed to catch problems before they have a chance to catch you. The fourth essential test is comprehensive blood work to screen for diabetes and high cholesterol. Diabetes and high cholesterol are sometimes referred to as silent diseases because they can quietly inflict damage on the body for years before any noticeable symptoms appear. By the time you might begin to feel symptoms like persistent fatigue, changes in your vision, or a numbness in your feet, the damage may already be quite advanced. That is why regular blood tests are so essential. The NOIH recommends that individuals be screened for type 2 diabetes every 3 years after the age of 45, and more frequently if you have known risk factors such as a family history of the disease, obesity, or high blood pressure. A simple fasting blood sugar test, or an A1C test, can reveal whether your blood sugar levels are creeping into a dangerous territory. For cholesterol, regular blood tests help your doctor to track your LDL bad cholesterol and your HDL good cholesterol, as well as your triglycerides. Together, these numbers provide a clear and comprehensive picture of your heart and your metabolic health. One of my patients, Susan, aged 67, came into my office complaining only of being tired all the time. She had assumed it was just a normal part of the aging process, but her blood work revealed that she had uncontrolled diabetes and dangerously high cholesterol. She was utterly shocked. "Doctor," she said, "I really just thought I was slowing down." With proper treatment and some important lifestyle changes, she was able to regain her energy and dramatically lower her health risks. Susan's story is a powerful reminder to all of us. Sometimes the body whispers before it screams, and comprehensive blood work helps us to hear those vital whispers. I often compare cancer screenings and blood work to the act of hiring a skilled navigator for a long sea voyage. You may not be able to see the hidden reefs or the dangerous currents that lie beneath the surface of the water, but that does not mean they are not there. A professional navigator uses their charts and instruments to find what your eyes cannot. In the very same way, these essential medical tests reveal what is happening deep inside your body long before any problems become visible to the naked eye. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you scheduled your mammogram, your colonoscopy, or your routine blood work? If your answer gives you pause, you are not alone. Many women put these things off, but your health is far too precious to gamble with. And please stay with me, because in the next section, we will discuss the fifth and final test, one that is often overlooked after menopause but remains absolutely critical, the pelvic exam. The fifth test, and one that is frequently overlooked after the menopausal transition, is the pelvic exam. A great many women hold the belief that once they have passed menopause, and especially if they are no longer sexually active, pelvic exams are simply unnecessary. Some even think to themselves, "I had a normal pap test years ago, so I must be fine." But that is a dangerous and widespread misconception. Even after menopause, women remain at risk for developing cancers of the uterus, the ovaries, and the vagina, as well as for conditions like pelvic organ prolapse or persistent infections. While pap smears and HPV testing may no longer be required on a regular basis after the age of 65, depending on your personal medical history, a thorough pelvic exam is still an absolutely critical diagnostic tool. It allows your doctor to manually check for any growths, any changes in the tissues, and any other signs of disease that you might not be able to notice on your own. According to the Cleveland Clinic, women should continue to have pelvic exams every 1 to 3 years after menopause, unless they are advised otherwise by their healthcare provider. Let me share with you the story of Judith, aged 74. She told me that she had actively avoided having pelvic exams for almost a full decade because she genuinely thought they were no longer relevant to her health. By the time she finally returned for a routine checkup, she was shocked to learn that she had an early-stage endometrial cancer. Thankfully, because we were able to catch it when we did, her treatment was successful. But Judith admitted to me, "Doctor, I almost didn't come in. I thought I was too old for any of this to matter." Her story serves as a powerful and poignant reminder. These exams are not about your age, they are about vigilance. Beyond the detection of cancer, pelvic exams can also be used to identify pelvic organ prolapse, a condition where weakened pelvic floor muscles allow the internal organs to shift downward, which can cause significant discomfort and urinary issues. Many women quietly suffer from these changes, mistakenly thinking that they are just a normal part of getting older. But an early detection of these issues opens the door to a wide range of effective treatments, from specialized physical therapy to surgical interventions that can completely restore a woman's quality of life. I often use this analogy with my patients. Think of a pelvic exam as being like a thorough inspection of the structural integrity of your home. You may not look at the foundation every single day, but if cracks begin to form and go unnoticed, the entire structure is put at risk. A pelvic exam is how we as your healthcare providers check your body's foundational health for those quiet hidden issues that could compromise your well-being and your independence if they are ignored. And here is something I truly want to emphasize. A pelvic exam is not just about the detection of disease. It is also a crucial opportunity for you to ask those questions that you might be too embarrassed to bring up otherwise. Questions about dryness, pain during intimacy, or urinary leakage. I have had countless women whisper their most private questions to me during these exams, deeply grateful for a safe and confidential space in which to finally voice their concerns. That conversation in and of itself can be life-changing. Think about it this way. Your body has faithfully carried you through decades of life, through childbirth, careers, family joys and losses. Does it not deserve that same high level of care and attention now in this new stage of your life? A pelvic exam is one of the simplest and most profound ways to honor that. So let me ask you, when was the last time you scheduled a pelvic exam? Has it been years or perhaps even a full decade? If so, I encourage you to see this not as a chore but as a precious gift to yourself. A chance to ensure that your foundation is strong, your health is secure, and your future is bright. Stay with me, because in the final part of this episode, we will recap all 5 of these essential tests, and talk about how they fit together into one powerful, comprehensive plan for protecting your health, your independence, and your confidence after the age of 60. We have covered a great deal of important information today, so let's bring everything together. There are 5 essential medical tests that every woman over the age of 60 should make a non-negotiable part of her regular health routine. First, a comprehensive heart health screening. Because heart disease is the #1 killer of women, and it often provides no advance warning signs. Regular blood pressure checks, cholesterol tests, and sometimes ECGs serve as your early alarm system, protecting you long before a crisis can occur. Second, a bone density scan. Because 1 in 2 women over the age of 50 will at some point suffer an osteoporosis-related fracture in her lifetime. A quick, painless DEXA scan will tell you if your bones are strong or if they are in need of support, so that you can remain independent and active. Third, crucial cancer screenings, mammograms for breast cancer, colonoscopies or stool tests for colon cancer, and pelvic exams for gynecologic cancers. These are life-saving safety nets that are designed to catch diseases early, often before you even know that a problem is there. Fourth, comprehensive blood work for both diabetes and cholesterol, because these silent conditions can quietly inflict damage on your body for years without any obvious symptoms. A simple blood draw can reveal your risks long before they begin to show up in your daily life. And fifth, the often overlooked pelvic exam, which serves to check the very foundation of your health by detecting cancers, prolapse, or tissue changes that no amount of self-observation could ever uncover. Each of these tests plays its own unique and vital role. Together, they form a powerful shield that protects not just your physical health, but also your independence, your relationships, and your precious time with the people you love. I want you to think back to the stories we shared today. Margaret, who caught her heart disease early. Martha, whose bone density scan explained her unexpected fracture. Claire, who discovered her breast cancer before it had a chance to advance. Susan, who learned that her persistent fatigue was actually due to diabetes, and Judith, who nearly skipped her pelvic exam, but ended up catching her endometrial cancer just in time. Each and every one of these women might have faced a personal tragedy if they had not undergone these tests. Instead, because of their vigilance, they found solutions, they found healing, and they found more years of life to enjoy. I often tell my patients this: these screenings are not about looking for problems, they are about securing your peace of mind. They are about making sure that you can continue to live your life on your own terms, traveling, laughing, dancing, and holding your loved ones close, without the constant fear of the unknown. Think of it as the regular maintenance you would perform on a treasured possession. You would not wait for an engine to fail before you change the oil, you do it to keep things running smoothly for years to come. Your body deserves that same level of respect. Preventive care is the essential maintenance for the most important vehicle you will ever own, yourself. So here is my direct call to action for you. If it has been more than a year since your last comprehensive checkup, please make an appointment this week. If you have been putting off your mammogram, your bone scan, or your routine blood work, do not wait another month. Your health is far too precious, and the gift of time is something that no one can ever buy back once it has been lost. And I would love to hear from you. Which of these 5 tests have you had recently, and which ones do you still need to schedule? Please share your answer in the comments, because your words may be the very thing that reminds another woman to take that life-saving step. If this video has given you clarity and courage, I invite you to subscribe so that you do not miss the rest of our series. In future episodes, we will talk about natural ways to boost your longevity, protect your circulation, and live with joy well beyond menopause. I'm Dr. Lily Stones, and I thank you for your time. And before we close, let me remind you this video is for educational purposes only. It does not replace medical advice. Every woman's body is unique. If you are experiencing pain, significant changes, or have personal concerns, please consult with your healthcare provider. Your well-being deserves personalized care.